Let's talk about publishing extension with JSR. This video may be too long for you, so I made a 2 minutes TLDR. In another video, I explained how the publish process works and why it's designed like this. And in this video, I will only cover how to do it. But I will do a very quick recap. Extensions must be first published as a package to either npm or JSR via GitHub action in order to obtain a provenance statement. After publishing the package to JSR, you can go to the website, log in with GitHub, enter the scope name and package name, then choose which version to publish. You can see some information for each version. If a package version is not signed by GitHub action, the publish button will be disabled. This is the template GitHub action workflow you will use to publish your extension package to JSR. You can modify it based on your own environment. For example, here I used Bang as my package manager and bundler, but you can use whatever you like. And let me quickly explain each step. First of all, the workflow is run on every push to the main branch. It runs on Ubuntu latest, but if you need Mac or Windows environments, you can change it as well. The permissions are for the provenance statement. The first step is checkout, which is git clone your project. The second step, setup Bang, is installing Bang to your CI environment. And Bang install, Bang run build is for building the package. KKSH is the Kunkun CLI tool to verify if a package is valid. It does some basic checking, including whether the required files exist. And finally, we run JSR Publish with BangX, but you can also use npx. Here's one thing you need to be careful when publishing a JSR package. If you have a subfolder containing some Deno code and the Deno.json file is in the subfolder, you have to copy the import map from Deno.json file to the JSR.json file in the root. If your Deno.json file is in root, then you don't need to worry about this. This is because JSR will modify the published code. If it cannot find the import map in the root JSR file, then it will assume the packages are all local TypeScript files and your extension will fail. In the rest of the videos, I will do a more detailed explanation. Next, let's talk about how to publish an extension with JSR. I will start by demonstrating the extension I'm going to publish. Let's first look at this project. It's called xcalidraw, and it has under xcalidraw app, it's a React app. After building it, we have this build folder. So if we cd into it and run npx serve build, we have this xcalidraw. Beautiful. And our extension can serve it. Let's kill this for now. And serve. Open URL. Yep, that's the app. Good. So now let's say we want to publish it to our extension registry. The first step is to publish to either npm or JSR. Let me reset the changes. The first step is to create a GitHub repository. I believe I don't have a repo for now. Yep. So the name, I prefer to start with Kunkun ext. So later, if someone wants to search for all Kunkun extensions, they can easily find it either on GitHub or on JSR or npm. Okay, I will make it public. It has to be public in order to publish to JSR and create. Copy this. Oh, by the way, I can just copy this because we already have a Git repo. I already finished this Git repo initialization, so I can just add origin and push. Good. So files is online. Then we need to create a JSR package. So publish a package scope. I will call it ext serve create. The first step is to copy this to JSR.json. And so JSR requires at least one export. And if you remove this, it will throw an error. But we are not actually publishing a library. So instead, we will give it a fake, an empty mode TS. That's fine. The following explanation about Deno import map only applies if your extension uses Deno. The default template doesn't come with Deno code. So if you don't have Deno script at all, then you don't need to worry about this part. Another thing you need to keep in mind is if you are publishing your package to JSR, you have to go to Deno source, Deno JSON, and copy the import map to here. So if your Deno JSON is in the root, that should be fine. Just make sure you have the correct package name like this. So this can be Deno JSON. Exactly the same content can be used in Deno JSON. But when we are publishing this package, we are publishing from the root. The CWD, the current working directory, is root of the repo. When it does not find a JSR with import map, so it's not gonna be able to find API, then there will be problem. So when you import from this, JSR will automatically modify your code, so it becomes this. I can show you an example. That was a package I was publishing a few weeks ago when I was developing this feature. So let's go back to an older version. I don't know, maybe this one, which I yanked. If we go to files and yeah, this one doesn't have Deno. Maybe 15. Yep, this one has Deno src. And if we look at its index, yep, we can see that it's importing from /. And when you run this extension, it's gonna throw errors saying it cannot find this module because this module indeed does not exist locally. It has to look for it from either node modules or Deno's global dependency store. Okay, so just remember, if your Deno.json is under a subdirectory, you have to copy its imports outside to the JSR.json. Okay, and you also, by the way, we can look at the instruction here. Here's an example. We also want to include this publish include field. Otherwise, I think by default JSR will publish everything, but in order to keep the package size small, we prefer to explicitly specify which ones to include. So we have to publish this build folder, which contains the front end of this extension. README could be useful. It's going to be displayed in the extension store. Package.json, this is necessary because the Kunkun app uses package.json as the manifest file. It's looking at this this entire object, including the permission, name, and custom UI location, etc. So, and lastly, mode.ts. That's the file we are telling JSR we're publishing, but actually, this one is fake. We're actually publishing build, and of course, Deno src also has to be published. Okay, then I think we are ready. We also need to add a GitHub action workflow here. By the way, we have to first configure it. Oh, it's not image processing. Since we already have created the repo, we can add the name here. And it's gonna give us a GitHub action workflow. So in case you don't know what GitHub action is, it is just an automation tool for doing testing and deployment, what we call CI/CD. So what it's doing here is every time you push to main branch, it's gonna run publish job, and the publish job will run on a Ubuntu latest. So it can run on Mac and Windows as well, but for this kind of package, we usually just use Ubuntu latest. And these permissions are necessary for package provenance. Just remember to add them. And then checkout means git clone and publish the package. Okay. And we're gonna use this one from our documentation with a few more lines of code. So new file dot GitHub workflows JSR publish. It's a YAML file. So the extra steps are setting up, installing Bang, because we're using Bang as a package manager. We also need to build the front end, right? So we need Bang. If you're using npm or pnpm, you need to set up Node.js and pnpm. Run Bang install, verify the package with kksh. That's our official CLI. It's gonna do some basic verification on the schema, on the format of your manifest, and I think, yeah, this build should be actually before this verify, because if the verify command cannot find the build folder, it may throw an error. And lastly, we run JSR publish. You can use npx JSR publish too, but yeah, since I'm using Bang all the time, I'll just use Bang. Good. So you can see that we're not using any repo name in this GitHub action workflow. That's actually pretty smart, because when you link it on the JSR's website, and when you publish it, they automatically link. Good. So I'm gonna publish. Set up JSR package configuration and publish workflow. Hopefully this will work. And let's go to the Actions tab. Refresh. Yep, we have this. It should be pretty quick. Bang is very fast. It's waiting. Yep. The job was picked up. Installation, build. Failed. What's wrong? Oh, yeah, that's why we need this kksh verify. We always want to keep the JSR version and package.json version the same, because the Kunkun app, it only loads this package.json, so it tries to load the version from here. But actually, when you publish, JSR will use the version specified in JSR JSON file. So to avoid confusion and bug, we have to keep them the same. So let's make them both 0.1.0. Okay. Let's run again. This time I believe it should pass. That was a good failure actually. I forgot to mention this issue. Great, it's published. And if we go back to JSR, we can see this. We can go into files and inspect the files uploaded to see if everything is here. So we have build that includes the front-end HTML file. Yep. Deno source contains the and this should be empty. JSR, that's our JSR manifest, and package.json this is our Kunkun's extension manifest. Yep, everything we need is here. Good. Then we can go to Kunkun's website. I'm gonna log out and show you how to log in. In order to publish an extension, for now you have to use GitHub, and in the future I believe we will always use GitHub, because using GitHub is the only way for the website to verify that you're actually the owner of this package. Because when you link your GitHub repo to JSR Package, we can see this link. With JSR's API, I can verify if the logged in user actually owns this this repo and package. So if you're not the owner, but you're in the organization, that's also fine, as long as you're a public member, or if you grant the OAuth scope, OAuth permission for our website to read your organization member, that's also fine. We can verify that. So search for the scope, and we have these packages. Let's search for scope. Serve. It's doing some verification. Version is not signed by GitHub action. Okay, that's weird. It should be. It's not actually. Oh, what's the problem? Provenance is not working? It is published from GitHub action. Why is it not showing the badge? That's weird. Let's use npx. I don't know. Like in my other extensions, I was using bungx. I think that was working well. But in order to republish, we have to bump the version in both JSR and the package.json. Okay. Debug JSR publish. Yeah, I have the permissions. What's wrong? That's weird. I have never seen that. If you publish from GitHub action, you should have the provenance. And by the way, this is also a good failure, because if you publish from your computer, you will not have the provenance card. I will show you how it looks like. So if you publish your extension package from GitHub action, it will have this provenance card that has a 6-door log, so people can locate the exact commit and workflow, GitHub action workflow you publish your extension from, for transparency and safety privacy issue. And on our website, if it cannot find this signature from GitHub, you will not be able to publish. Okay, I think it passed. Serve, refresh, jump to latest. Yep, we have the card now. I don't know why. I don't think it's because of npx, but anyways, if bongx doesn't work for you, just use npx. And let's go back here. I will reload the page so there's no cache, and serve. So we can see this new version, and it's signed by GitHub action and ready for publish. And I will click publish. It will do a client-side check and then publish to the server. The server will do another round of verification. And let's go to extensions. You can see the file server extension is at the top. Good. And go to extension store. It's also here. So from here, you can see all the permissions required. You can see it's requiring all the network and read access, as well as pass access to this file. And the permission type is Deno spawn. Good. And in the GitHub action, which is a provenance card, you can see the build summary, which is the GitHub action I just ran 3 minutes ago. The commit, that's a commit, exact commit of the source code. The build file is the exact build file we use. So everyone knows I didn't tamper with the source code to add any malicious content. And this is the transparency log on Sigstore. Good. Then you can go back to the built-in store and search for serve static file server. It has exactly the same content. Install. And serve. So we have this dev extension with hot module replacement, but we want to use this official extension. And let's try again. Let's say I want to serve myself. Let's say I can change the ports. If you set it to 0, it's gonna assign a random port, serve, on this random port. Open folder, that's the folder I want to serve. Open URL, yeah, that's the folder I want to serve. And I think you can also go into build, yep. So now you're looking at the front end for this extension. Okay, good, thank you.